I think it's about time that I put my foot down and remind everyone exactly who the hell I am and exactly what the hell I am capable of.
I'm a champion!
Women's World Champion Rhea Bloody Ripley. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Welcome back to Gorilla Position. It's lovely to have you on the show again today. First and foremost, Neighbours is back. Please tell me you're across the big relaunch on Prime Video.
You know what? I didn't even know because I'm so out of touch with everything, but I'm glad that you told me some good news, you know?
I feel like this has come full circle, finally.
It has. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Now, I remember I interviewed you once and I asked how you were, and you said, yeah, I'm fine. I have just vomited, but I'm fine. And I was so impressed with how breezy and cool you were about the whole thing, because if I ever vomit, it's like the worst thing that ever happens in the world, and it ruins my day. I assume you haven't vomited today.
Not today, but it's really funny because, like, once again, full circle, I legit vomited yesterday.
Did you? What is going on, Rhea?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like everything just seems to be happening when we talk to each other.
I feel like maybe when you know you're going to do an interview with me, you vomit.
I mean, I didn't even know this time. Maybe. That's hilarious.
So weird. So weird.
Oh my God. Maybe you just always catch me on one of my cheat days or like the day after my cheat day. That's probably why.
Is that what it is? That's maybe what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, we're approaching a year of you being Women's World Champion. By the time you meet Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, you will have surpassed that milestone. So congratulations on that. But how do you feel about this run? What does it mean to you personally, from your amazing match with Charlotte last year at WrestleMania to the mammy we see on screen now? What does this all mean to you?
It means the world. Like, this has honestly been the biggest year of my entire career. It's something that's gonna help my legacy stay strong within the WWE and wrestling in general. And it's something that's really opened me up in this business in a way where my confidence has grown. The person that I am has grown. Everything about Rhea Ripley and myself entirely has just like gotten so much better. Like, I've really taken that step. And if other things happen within this year, we might not have seen the Rhea Ripley that we see today. So I'm so glad that everything has happened for a reason, and I've been able to grow in front of everyone's eyes and get better, not only in the ring, but get better on the microphone as well. That's something that I had always been really terrified of doing. And I feel like being a part of the Judgment Day and being on this platform where I have been out there with the guys more and been more in the men's division, I've had more of a chance to speak on the microphone and get used to that. So that's another thing that has helped me grow. And this last year, it really has been massive for Rhea Ripley. So it's probably one of the best years of my career.
Well, it definitely comes across. It looks like you're having so much fun with the Judgment Day team. And I think back to, like, I mean, I think I first met you in Blackpool around one of the NXT UK shows. And to see the person you were there to what we see on screen now, it's extraordinary. You must feel so proud about how far you've come. Yeah,
it's been a wild ride, but everything has happened for a reason, and everything has meant so incredibly much to me. Like, there's been obviously downs and there's been high points as well, but it's wild to think that I've already lived over here in America for like 7 years, pretty much, nearly 7 years. So everything that I've been able to accomplish and the history that I've been able to make over that time has been absolutely wild. And I'm blessed to be in the position that I am. And I'm glad that I never gave up along the way. Because like I said, there was always down points, but I like to say that life's like a roller coaster. There's downs and there's ups, but at the end of the day, it's a fun ride. And everything's happened for a reason. Being a part of NXT UK, helping build that brand, finding my confidence over there to then go to NXT and take over NXT, and then obviously Raw and SmackDown as well. It's been wild, but it's been a lot of fun.
Have you ever heard the song Life is a Roller Coaster by Ronan Keating?
You know what? I actually haven't. I didn't realize that was a song.
It's a terrible song, but you should check it out because it's quite fitting.
All right.
Now you've just we're talking about the incredible journey you've been on. You've just had an incredible journey to Perth, your home country. First time back there in 7 years, is that right?
Yeah, first
But
time back in 7 years to compete.
Wow. So you had your family in your
Yeah.
front row, a legit main event spot at a PLE in a stadium. How was that experience? And did it meet your expectations? Because that must have been something you sort of had in your head for a while.
Yeah, it definitely met all my expectations. It was something that meant so much to me. Like the last time that I competed over there was 7 years ago, and it was for Riot City Wrestling. And I left as the champion, the women's champion for Riot City. And it's wild to come back not only as a WWE superstar, but as the women's world champion and be on this dominant run and help put Australian wrestling on the map, and to come back and finally have that big moment while having all these accolades and go in there and defend my title against arguably one of the best in the women's division, Nia Jax. Like I was in such a threatening position with my title run because she is so strong. So to have such a perfect opponent in such a perfect area, everything just sort of worked out so nicely for me, and it told a great story. And I tried my best not to get emotional on camera because honestly, coming out and doing my entrance and seeing all the Australian flags and hearing how excited everyone was and how hyped they were to not only have WWE come back to Australia, but to have homegrown talent on the show. It was a very heartwarming moment. And there was a couple of times where I had to scream or shake my head just to make sure that the tears wouldn't come out my eyes. But once the match was all said and done, and I got the opportunity to sort of take it all in while being out there, because a lot of the time I don't get to take it all in. I'm normally the go and just get it done so I can feel good afterwards and think about it later. But I really didn't want to do that with this specific PLE because this was my WrestleMania before WrestleMania. This is one of the biggest highlights of my career. So to actually have that moment after the match, because we were the main event, so I could be out there longer and just sort of sit in the ring and take it all in. It's wild. It was such a lovely feeling, and it gave me a weird flashback of my last match in Australia too, where I had my championship and I knelt down in the middle of the ring. I had all the RCW crew out there cheering me on, all the fans cheering me on, and I just started crying. And it was sort of the same because I was in the middle of the ring with my championship, had my family around the ring, had some of the indie wrestlers around the ring that I could see, and I had all of Australia cheering me on again. It was just a bigger atmosphere, but it felt like everything that I had worked so hard for over the past nearly 11 years has all accumulated to that moment, and it meant the absolute world to me.
Well, you fully deserved it. You really, really did. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Another thing that's amazing is you being chosen as one of the cover stars for WWE 2K24. As we record, I mean, you're laughing. It's crazy the ride you've been on. Life is a roller coaster, etc. But the game, as we record this now, the game is out tomorrow. The Deluxe Edition with you and Bianca on the front. What does it genuinely mean to you to be chosen as the cover star?
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. It's the first cover where there's only female talent on it. That's history making. Bianca and I get to be the first ever cover, and it's deluxe cover, but still just cover in general, where it's two female superstars without any males. And I think that is so incredible. Like we've seen Becky and Roman on it before, but to be the first one to share it with Bianca, out of all people, someone who I've been in NXT with, I've been on the main roster with, I've seen her struggles, I've seen her accomplishments. It's amazing to share that with her specifically as well. But to know that we get to be a part of this history-making event, and it's literally on the cover of a video game for 2K. It's absolutely nuts. If I could go back in time and tell my younger self that I would accomplish all these wild things, I would not have believed it at all. It's part of the legacy that I'm trying to leave behind, and I'm honored to know that they had chosen me and Bianca specifically, because it means that we're making an impact here within the WWE, and we're proving to everyone that we can do everything just like the men can as well. And that's all that we really want. We want to set the WWE up for greatness within the women's division for the future as well. And I feel like this is just another step on that. So I'm very proud and blessed to be part of the cover with Bianca Belair.
You're immortalized forever now, basically, on the cover of a video game.
Exactly.
It's incredible. And what match are you gonna create when the game's out tomorrow? What's going to be your go-to match?
Oh, you know what? I think I might do some like practice runs with possibly myself and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. See how that goes.
Well, so your rating in the game is 96, which is just one below Roman Reigns, by the way, for God's sake. And but that's slightly higher than Becky Lynch. So what do you think about that?
You know, sucks to suck.
You can say that about Becky Lynch. Mummy
Yeah.
is always on top. Okay, so speaking of the man versus Rhea Ripley, this is the biggest women's match in wrestling that can be promoted right now, I believe. So it's going to be incredible. Big expectations from the fans. Do you feel pressure, not just from a match and physicality standpoint, but also telling a good story going in?
Yeah, of course. The whole build towards a match is the story beforehand. With no story, I feel like, yes, you can still have a great match. I mean, going off of myself and Charlotte at WrestleMania last year, the match itself was absolutely phenomenal. The story building up, it was lacking in some places. So I feel like going into WrestleMania 40, the whole main thing is the story and the build up to build this match so it can be even bigger than what we expect. Yes, I want to have a fantastic match, and I feel like putting Becky and I in there would make such a perfect combination for a fantastic match. We have great chemistry. We wrestled each other in NXT until Shayna Baszler and her little goon squad caused the DQ, and I thought that that was going fairly well. And we've both grown so much since then as well. So I know that we're not going to disappoint when it comes to that match, but I feel like the build up towards WrestleMania 40 is where it's really going to be as well.
Yeah. And so stories are such a big thing in WWE and long-term storytelling. What differences have you seen in this new era of WWE and the more kind of, I would say, cohesive, creative vision of Triple H? Have you really noticed, have the talents really noticed those changes backstage?
Yeah, I feel like things actually follow through to the end now, which is ideal. And I feel like we also acknowledge NXT a lot more, which is fantastic, because NXT, a lot of the time, talent from NXT would get brought up, and it's like their whole past in NXT would just get erased and forgotten, and they'd get built as something completely different, something that the fans don't understand because they do watch all the products. So they're like, why is this happening? So like actually acknowledging the past while moving on to the future is one of the biggest things, and I think that's a massive storyline thing as well. And story, it helps with a lot of different things. Like, and also I feel like with build-ups to the PLEs, it makes the videos so much better as well, because now we're acknowledging all the little aspects of everyone's career and all their accomplishments, no matter where they were within the company. And even sometimes they go further than that and to their accomplishments outside of the company. Like, I feel like the stories are getting more detailed and they're actually following through to a very fantastic spot where it's more ideal, where before I feel like it was very choppy and like start-stoppy in some ways. I know that for me, it was very difficult because I felt like people didn't understand me and my character, so they didn't really know which direction to push me and what to do with me. Where now I feel like I'm on the right path, and obviously I am because I've had the best year of my career. So just things like that. I feel like the stories are definitely more in depth and elongated, which I enjoy, and I know other people definitely enjoy too.
It's really validating to hear you say that, because, you know, us fans watch it and we had those issues with past creative, and we've really seen a difference. So now, you know, to know that talents backstage feel the same is really nice.
Yeah.
Talk to me quickly about Dom. Watching him and his star grow over the last year, becoming so incredibly over, has been the most joyous thing. And you obviously play a huge part in that. Is there something you can tell us about Dom Mysterio that our listeners might not know about?
I feel like he's a fairly open book, to be completely honest. Oh man, something that you guys don't know. I guess most of the time he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but I feel like most people can pick up on that. I don't know. Dom's really funny. I feel like people know the main things about Dom. Like, he loves chicken tenders. He has to have ranch. Can't have ketchup. Can't have mayo. It has to be ranch.
Good boy.
He's got the diet of a child. It's fantastic. I mean, that's like the main thing, but I feel like a lot of people know that already. Other than that, his he's grown so much over the past year and a half, that it's been really wonderful to watch and wonderful to be a part of. Like, I'm so incredibly proud of him. And the one thing that makes me laugh about him is he's so chill. Like, he's so extremely chill. So like when he goes out there, most of the time he's just not entirely sure what is going on. But I feel like that makes it so perfect, because he's just organically reacting to things and doing
Yeah,
things because
nice.
he genuinely doesn't know what is happening. Bless his heart. I really do love Dom.
Bless his
But
heart. So
yeah.
something, you know, it's the proof's in the pudding. Judgment Day is so popular. Everyone's talking now about, is Dom in the doghouse with you? Are you trying to distance yourself from him and the group? Can you shed any light on that?
I'm not trying to distance myself. Mommy's got business that she needs to attend to. I feel like a lot of the time I've been focusing more on my boys and helping them out. And that was a massive problem for people. And now that I'm actually focusing on my main problems, which is Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, all these women in the women's division, people are like, oh no, she's distancing herself. I feel like people can never be happy with what I'm doing. But Dom's not in the doghouse. Judgment Day isn't in the doghouse. I'm obviously, I wish that Dom would talk to me first before, you know, challenging Gunther of all people. But I'm still there for the boys. They're still my family, and I still love every single one of them. Mommy's just got to deal with her women's division a little bit as well. And I think it's about time that I put my foot down and remind everyone exactly who the hell I am and exactly what the hell I am capable of.
So your career is like the My Rise mode in WWE 2K24. Like, thinking about when I first met you back in Blackpool to where you are now, legit WrestleMania main event caliber star. How do you react to being the biggest women's star in wrestling right now? Because that's undeniably what you've made yourself over the last 12 months.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's crazy. I don't really know. I don't really take it in too often, because I feel like I'm gonna overwhelm myself by thinking that. Um, I feel like my thought process keeps me fairly humble in a way that I think that I could just get better, and I'm not the best that I can be. But it is wild to know how big my platform has risen to being one of the faces of Raw and WWE, where I was I was pretty much on most segments of Monday Night Raw at one point. I was doing backstage promos, I was doing matches, I was out there for the boys matches, I was doing absolutely everything. So to know that the company trusts me with so much is so incredibly amazing. It just makes me feel like all the hard work is like accomplished this, and I feel like I'm finally in the good books, and I'm finally getting the opportunities that I've wanted for so long. But to know that, like, I've won so many so many things in the past year, like best match at WrestleMania, overall female, all these different things, to know that I've actually managed to do this is absolutely insane. It makes me very, very proud, makes me happy. And I don't really know what other words to describe the feeling. It's very overwhelming, but at the same time, I know that I could be so much better than what I'm doing right now. We've just scratched the surface, and I still have a lot of learning to do. And I can't wait to see what I'm like in the next few years so I can look back at this moment and be like, wow, like I did so well that year, but look how far I've come since then as well.
Oh, only scratching the surface. That's amazing. Okay, very quickly, finally, what does finishing your story mean? What does that mean to Rhea Ripley? It's a phrase and a slogan used in 2K, in WWE a lot. What does finish your story mean to you? If you could write that final chapter.
Oh, taking over the WWE.
Oof.
Taking over, taking over absolutely everything and doing it with my Judgment Day family. For me, finishing the story means finishing goals in a way. For me, I don't have goals. I don't like to set goals because I feel like once you get to your goal, you have nowhere else to go. So when it comes to finishing your story, I guess that's going to be the end of my career, where hopefully I am standing tall within the WWE, hopefully with my boys in the Judgment Day, and we've just taken over the entire bloody company.
Love it. What a way to wrap up. Rhea Ripley, genuine congratulations on everything. I hope you enjoy the road to WrestleMania. Good luck in Philly. And hopefully I'll see you soon and you won't be sick.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you.